Russian President Vladimir Putin has spent 2013 taking pleasure in being a thorn in the side of the entire Western world, let alone the United States, and whether it was Putin's decision to provide asylum to NSA leaker Edward Snowden, which led President Obama to cancel a planned Moscow summit, Russia's attempts at the UN to soften any punishment of their ally, Syrian President Assad, or Putin's defense of Russia's discriminatory anti-gay laws. As the Winter Olympics in Sochi approaches, it's no secret that relations are at a post-Cold War low. So with all of the public attempts to embarrass the U.S., don't overlook what's been going on in Ukraine this week. On his border, Putin is using strong-arm tactics and power politics to expand his influence in an attempt to outwit the West. Putin has staked his personal prestige on the games in Sochi. And under criticism for his human rights record, he's obviously now also trying to clear the decks on that front. Just this morning, he freed longtime nemesis and oil tycoon Mikhail Khodorkovsky, who has been jailed for almost 10 years for daring to challenge the Kremlin and Putin. Two members of the feminist punk band Pussy Riot and a group of environmental activists are also suddenly being freed just weeks before the Olympics. White House sent its own message this week about Russia's anti-gay laws, announcing that for the first time since 2000, the U.S. delegation to an Olympics will not include a member of the first family, a vice president, or a former president, but it will include 3 openly gay athletes: tennis legend Billie Jean King and Olympic medalist Caitlin Cahow and Brian Boitano. But the U.S. has stayed very quiet about what's going on Russia's border, where Putin has been exerting more and more influence over Europe's second largest country, Ukraine. Last month, Ukraine President Viktor Yanukovych, caught between Russia and the West, refused to sign political and free trade agreements with the European Union. In response, thousands of protesters occupied Kiev's historic Independence Square and several government buildings. Police cracked down on protesters in a violent assault. Last weekend, Senators Chris Murphy and John McCain traveled to Ukraine to show support for the protesters.
We are here to tell you that the American people and the United States Congress stands with the people of Ukraine. In America, we stand in awe of the fact that despite the violence on this square, you have remained peaceful in support of change.
But on Tuesday, Ukraine chose to go east. Putin announced a $15 billion loan package to Ukraine and a discount on natural gas prices in the middle of a bitter winter season that saves the country about $2 billion a year. As one piece put it, Vladimir Putin just bought a country. Should the U.S. care? In a 4-hour marathon press conference on Thursday, did you hear that? 4 hours? Putin portrayed the bailout as brotherly love, calling Ukraine our brotherly nation, and saying the deal was a goodwill gesture with no strings attached.
President Putin has pulled out all the stops to coerce, intimidate, and threaten Ukraine away from Europe. President Putin stressed on Tuesday that Russia's financial assistance to Ukraine is free of conditions. If you believe that, I have some beachfront property in Arizona to sell you.
Now, Yanukovych is warning the West not to interfere. He told several hand-picked Ukrainian journalists Thursday, quote, "I am categorically against anybody coming and teaching us how to live." Der Spiegel calls the Ukrainian play the capstone of Putin's most successful year yet, in a piece that's called